Good evening. My name is Kristen Wong-Callisto, and I am the Executive Director of the MCPS Educational Foundation, and we are thrilled to welcome you tonight for our Evening of Excellence.
And good evening. My name is Matt Swibel, and I'm the Chair of the Board of Directors of MCPS Educational Foundation. Welcome to the Music Center at Strathmore, an outstanding institution funded by local government and a fitting venue to celebrate the scholarly achievements of Montgomery County public school students.
We hope that everyone enjoyed the reception, which included the musical stylings from our jazz ensemble from Bethesda Chevy Chase High School. Now to continue our musical, To continue our musical performance, we would like to welcome the Seneca Valley High School drumline, which accompanies our scholars into the Music Center.
Thank you very much. So tonight, before we get started, we want to acknowledge our distinguished guests. Tonight, here at Strathmore, we have state elected officials, we have multiple Montgomery County Council members, and we have multiple members of the Montgomery County Board of Education. Would you please rise? I'd also like to acknowledge my colleagues on the Montgomery County Public Schools Educational Foundation Board of Directors. If you're with us tonight, please rise. And as was evident in so many of the essays that were submitted by applicants, we'd also like to recognize the outstanding MCPS administrators and educators. Would you please rise? Finally, welcome to all parents, family members, guardians, and supporters of our students. I hope we didn't miss anyone, but if we have, please know that we're thrilled to have you support us tonight. And thank you everyone supporting the MCPS Educational Foundation.
And tonight, we'd like you to please join us in welcoming tonight's MC, award-winning NBC4 news reporter and meteorologist Jessica Faith.
Good evening, everybody. I am Jessica Faith, the meteorologist at NBC4, and I'm so excited to be here tonight to celebrate the hard work, dreams, and determination that scholarships bring to life. Tonight is all about the accomplishments of the students who have earned the MCPS Educational Foundation Scholarship. Here to speak tonight is Kevin Zhao, an MCPS-EF Rails O'Neill Scholar. Kevin is in the class of 2025 Global Ecology program at Poolesville High School. He will be attending the School of Computer Science at Carnegie Mellon University, majoring in artificial intelligence. Let's welcome him.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Faith, for that wonderful introduction. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Evening of Excellence. My name is Kevin Zhao, a senior in the Global Ecology program at Poolesville High School and an incoming freshman at the School of Computer Science at Carnegie Mellon University. It's a tremendous... Thank you. It's a tremendous honor to speak today among my peers, mentors, and all who have helped me reach this milestone. Thank you to my family, friends, teachers, school, and especially to the donors of the scholarship for your generous support. When I first started kindergarten, I only knew a few words in English. I was placed in the MCPS ESOL program for 3 years, which gave me the foundation I needed to communicate effectively. One memory stands out. My ESOL teacher read a book about pancakes, my favorite breakfast, and then made blueberry pancakes according to the story. Words on a page can come and go, but the taste of pancakes and the feeling of being cared for stays with you forever. Looking back, I'm deeply grateful for the support and warmth I received from that classroom and for the strong ESOL program that shaped my early years. The MCPS ESOL program, along with its Spanish courses, has made me fall in love with language learning, so much that I started learning languages on Duolingo starting from 7th grade. When the Duolingo album flew deep into my heart in the middle of the night when I first downloaded the app on my phone, I loved languages even more and discovered the joy of self-studying. Today, I speak English, Mandarin, and Spanish fluently, and I've used those language skills to help my family and serve my community. Thanks be to MCPS, which has provided me with the tools to thrive academically and personally. In addition to languages, through the diverse and interesting courses in MCPS, I also discovered a passion for math, physics, computer science, and teaching. But since I have such a multitude of passions during my freshman year, I was thoroughly confused as to what to study in college. I would not have found that interdisciplinary field so quickly without my AP Computer Science A teacher, who showed me an amazing opportunity to learn quantum computing through an IBM course in which I used Qiskit, a simulation software for quantum computers, to explore various phenomena in quantum computing, which is magic. I've always thought you could predict for certain what will happen in our universe until I found out about quantum physics. A particle can be both one thing and another at the same time, and energies can suddenly jump between levels. What is this but magic? The year after, I found out the math behind that magic, linear algebra. In my linear algebra course, I discovered that vectors were what let particles be one thing and another at the same time, and the eigenvalues were what make energies jump from one level to another. Math explains the magic of quantum computing, which makes for efficient algorithms for language technologies. At that moment, I found a field I wanted to study: artificial intelligence using quantum computational algorithms and computational linguistics, which makes use of all my interests: math, physics, computer science, and languages. Because my teachers have had such a meaningful impact on me, I'm feeling welcomed and heard, I wanted to pay it forward. So I volunteered as a teacher. In 7th grade, I began giving piano lessons. I loved guiding students through challenges and seeing their joy when they overcame them. By 8th grade, I was volunteering at Lead for Future Academy, where I taught piano, web design, English, and Chinese. Students and parents gave me incredibly positive feedback, not because I'm perfect, but because I understand their struggles. My own journey gave me the empathy to meet students where they are and help them grow. From being a volunteer teacher to volunteering for nonprofits, I have accumulated hundreds of hours of volunteer experience, but it's not about the numbers. The true joy comes from tutoring kids and organizing community service events, from giving what I've learned, felt, and overcome back to the community that supported me. This fall, I will open up a new world of perspectives at Carnegie Mellon University as an artificial intelligence major and math minor, looking forward to not only its rigorous computer science courses taught by world-class faculty, but also exploring the wonderful city of Pittsburgh, where the headquarters of Duolingo are located. To the Montgomery County Board of Education, Montgomery County Public Schools, the Educational Foundation, and the very generous donors of the Rails O'Neill Scholarship, Mr. Rails and Mr. O'Neill, thank you. Your belief in students like me helps us dream bigger and reach higher. And to my fellow students, congratulations. I wish you all continued growth, joy, and impact in the chapters ahead. Thank you and welcome, everyone. Gracias y bienvenidos a todos. 谢谢，欢迎大家。Merci et bienvenue à tout le monde.
You go, dude. If I had half the talent as him, my head would be as big as this room, but he seems so humble, and I just want to say congratulations to you. And before I came here, I worked in Pittsburgh. Make sure you make your way to the Strip District. It has a lot of cool stuff, great restaurants, and I think you will love it. It's right by the Allegheny River. Make sure to check it out. I love Pittsburgh, but I love DC more. All right, please help me welcome our next speaker, Montgomery County Board of Education President Julie Yang.
Good evening, everyone. This is a hall full of excitement. I'm Julie Yang. This is a great moment to be with our school system, Montgomery County Public Schools. And it's my absolute joy to celebrate this very best of what public education stands for: opportunities, resilience, and the power of community. Now, scholars, would you please stand? Scholars, please stand. All right, let's give them a round of applause. Keep standing, keep standing, keep standing. Your hard work, determination, and drive to pursue your dreams inspire all of us. And you represent the future we believe in: bright, bold, and full of promise. Now, please keep standing, because we know no one walks this journey alone, just like what Kevin has just shared with us. Can I ask the families and caregivers to stand? Families and caregivers, please stand. Please keep standing. As a parent of 2 MCPS graduates, I know the pride and joy you feel at this moment. And I want to thank you for your love, your guidance, and for being the steady foundation for your scholars. So please stand, keep standing. And I'm going to call on our Education Foundation team, Mr. O'Neill and Mr. Rails, and your staff and all the supporters. Please stand. Matt, you need to stand. It is your hard work, your generation, your generosity. It is Miss Pat O'Neill's legacy that inspire all of us. So thank you so very much. Now, I also would like to ask our elective. I have Delegate Teresa Warman here representing D16. Is she still here? I have Council Member Andrew Friesen here. Can you please stand? Can I ask my board members, Grace Rivera-Alvin, Brenda Wolf, Laura Stewart, can you please stand? And O'Neill and Mr. Peniel, please stand. Okay, now I will also ask all the administrators and staff to stand again. Can you please stand? It is our collective work with the school system, it's our state, it's our county government, it's our board members, it's all our staff that have nurtured and guided all our students. We will remain steadfast in our pursuit to support you to have the brightest future that you deserve. Now, as we are all standing, look at this room. It should be every one of us. It's every one of us. Can you give a high five to the people next to you? Right? This is how we create community. This is the power of education. This is the moment that we celebrate. So scholar, as we go forward, I have a call to you. Don't forget the power of bringing others with you. Lift as you climb. Pay forward the support you have received. Remember, true success is collective. Thank you so much. Now it's my distinct honor to invite our superintendent, Dr. Thomas Taylor, to come to the stage, the man that leads us all to support all our students. Thank you so much.
Well, good evening, everybody. Speaking on behalf of every single adult who's here tonight, you guys look great. You really do. Thank you so much for all that you've accomplished. I have just a few remarks, and I promise you I'll keep them brief because I know why we're here tonight. We're here to celebrate our scholars this evening, and the class of 2025, you are a special group of folks for sure. But we have something in common, and that something in common is that we have a shared experience of having gone to school in Montgomery County Public Schools. Because when I was coming up through school, I went to Montgomery County Public Schools. Now, just out of curiosity, any folks from BCC in here? That's what I'm talking about. Go Barons, I appreciate that. Well, and here's what I'm gonna say. Whether you went to BCC or you went to another school, we have great schools in Montgomery County. Montgomery County is a great place to live, work, and learn. And the parts that make Montgomery County great is its community that supports our school system for sure. And in our shared experience, I want to tell you a few things that make me proud of where I come from and where you come from and the association that we share together. I'm also proud to be a parent, like many of the folks in this room, that when they look at you, they see all of the things that they have poured into you, as well as the educators that are in this space. And Ms. Yang did a wonderful job of recognizing all the fantastic folks that have been a part of your experience, particularly in the last few years leading up to this point. And it's important that we celebrate them, so I have some thank yous to share with them as well. Mr. Schweibel and Dr. Callisto came up earlier today. Oh, you see, they're already getting some shout outs. I want to tell you a little bit about what they do. They run the Education Foundation that supports Montgomery County Public Schools. And this is a really important organization, not just because they're handing out scholarships and they're supporting you to fulfill your dreams, but they are also firing up innovation in our school system. They're investing in ideas and projects that help to transform the learning environment in our school system. Now, I think it's highly unlikely that they invested in Kevin's blueberry pancakes early on in his career, but I'm glad that that was a really memorable experience for you, Kevin. And I think that when all of you think about your experience in MCPS, you have these really memorable learning experiences led by really great teachers to help transform who you are and inspire who you are. So we give a lot of thanks to this Education Foundation because it's made up of community leaders that are in this room that care an awful lot and are invested in you. Some of them are members of civic organizations like the NAACP, or they're members of the Board of Education, or they're former members of the Board of Education, or community members that are invested. But they're here because they care about you and they care about what you will become and who you will be as adults. And that's a pretty important thing. I also want to give a lot of praise to our donors and sponsors. And Kevin, thank you for mentioning them, and Ms. Yang as well, because we would not be here tonight to celebrate your wonderful accomplishments without the endorsement and investment in you as individuals. You make us so proud. And I will say that investment is certainly a good one, based on the accomplishments that I've read about you and that we'll hear an awful lot about tonight. But those investments, we are hopeful, will have a tremendous impact, not just in this community, but in the world. Kevin has already committed to creating an AI chatbot that is going to fix all of your academic needs in the future. Isn't that right? Okay, just checking. And though Ms. Yang mentioned your parents, I want to say thank you for your partnership, parents, caregivers, aunts, uncles, grandparents. Thank you for supporting these wonderful students and for being so invested in your child and so invested in our partnership. It's been a pleasure to work with you. Thank you for raising these amazing students. And I'll say my last thank you is to you. We are here because of you, not just tonight, but every day we're here because of you. We believe in you. We are inspired by you. We're not just proud of your accomplishments, we are so hopeful about what you will do in the future. So I just want to share a few brief remarks about where we were, where we are, and where we're going, both as a school system and as a community. And I really want to focus a lot on where the future is heading and why I'm so optimistic about the future. And then I'll close things out, I promise you, very quickly with a big request. You guys up for the big request part? Thank you for the head nods. It's very affirming. So first, where we were. Think back to 2012. You all were entering kindergarten. What a magical time, filled with excitement and a lot of things going on in your lives as young people. You were learning how to read. You were learning how to get along with people in your classroom. It was a pretty special thing. And at that time in Montgomery County, you were coming to one of the best school systems in the country, if not the best school system in the country. And truth be told, things have been a little rocky since then. There was that whole COVID thing. You all remember that? Not our finest moment, right? We had some rough patches that we were working through. We had very disruptive and widespread hate speech and actions by elected officials. It was a pretty scary time. But as painful as some of those difficult times were, you exhibited a tremendous amount of resilience and grit. It's what got you here tonight. It got a stole on your shoulders and a cord around your neck. We thank you for having the courage to step up and to do things that were hard, because not everybody was able to do things that were hard, but you have done things that are hard. We hope that of the many things that you've learned in the school system, that one of the things that carries you forward is that you know that you can do hard things. Which brings me to where we're going. Where we're going is a wonderful place. We have great optimism for our future, despite the chaos and the tumultuous times that we live in today. We have optimism because of you. Quite candidly, we hold the hope that through the values that we share and through your leadership, you will figure out what needs to happen next. We hope that we have taught you well and that you have the skills and the heart to figure all this out and to move us forward. No pressure, but we're kind of counting on you to save us. You guys up for that? Yes? I love it. Very good. I see the heads nodding. I like that. Despite the many things that we got wrong in your education, here's what I hope that we got right. That you have pursued excellence, even when excellence was evasive. That you formed communities with others through relationships that were meaningful and that will last a lifetime. I got to meet Zoe earlier tonight, and she had met somebody through Summer Rise, and you guys are friends even though you go to two totally different high schools. And I gotta tell you, that's really impressive. So congratulations on building a lifelong friendship even though you live many miles apart. And I just think that that's fantastic. We hope that you found self-respect and that you found respect for others, learning about each other in meaningful and very deep ways, and that you see our community's diversity not just as an asset, but as our community's superpower. When times are difficult, it is our shared values that keep us together. And when you hold onto something tightly like your core values, they can't be compromised at any cost. So in times like the ones that we're living in today, Where it would be easy to compromise in order to survive, we persist. We stand up. We don't change who we are to accommodate the whims of the present. We stand up for each other, and we use every bit of our leadership and influence to breathe life into the values that we hold deep. So, as promised, here's my big request. And you all are all clearly phenomenal people, each and every one of you, in very unique ways, and that makes us very proud. My request is that you use your leadership to give back to make this world a better place, and much better than where you found it. That you do this in seemingly small and easy, or large and complex ways. You could cure a disease. You could, like Kevin's gonna do, fix homework. You could run for political office, though that's a tough ask, I understand. You could write about injustice and address hate bias in your community. You could run a school system. That's a subtle nod that you should maybe consider going into education. Like, you could teach. You could make silly videos about closing school for snow. Just a suggestion. You could volunteer at a food pantry. Or it can be something just as simple as being a friend to somebody who needs one. Whatever you do, be a good human who leads with empathy and understanding that this is a team sport and that we all need each other every day. You are the class of 2025. I'm proud to be your superintendent. I'm proud to know you, albeit only for a very short while. Proud of all that you've done to make our county schools better, and you have made our county schools better. But most of all, I'm proud of what you will do. Congratulations.
Now help me welcome to the stage the Richard Montgomery High School Madrigals and their conductor, who will be performing Bridge Over Troubled Waters, and This is the Moment.
For our first song, This is the Moment, we'll be joined by members of the Richard Montgomery High School ASL Honor Society.
This is the moment, this is the day. The moments are in rhyme. Give me this moment, this moment, this moment. I'll gather up my past and make some sense at last. This is the moment when all I've done, all of the dreaming, scheming, and screaming becomes one. This is the day, just see it shine. When all I live for becomes mine. This is the moment, this is the hour when I can open up tomorrow like a flower. And put my hand to everything planned to fulfill my grand design. See all my stars align. This is the moment, my final test, turning back and I never again. Second best, I won't look down. I must have lost, not fall. This is the moment, the sweetest moment of them all. This is the moment, strike all the odds, this day or never, I said forever, if the gods, when I look back, I will recall, moment for moment, this was the moment, the greatest moment of them all, the greatest moment of them I'll be your bridge, your troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge, your troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes. troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge or troubled water. I will lay me down. Sail on, silver girl. Sail on, silver girl. Sail on by. Sail on by. Your time has come to shine. All your dreams are on their way. See how they shine. Oh, if you ever need a friend, around I'm sailing high, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind, like a bridge over troubled water. I will ease your mind. I'll be a bridge or troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge or troubled water. I will lay me down, lay me down.
As mentioned earlier, this evening is all about the accomplished students who have earned a scholarship awarded by the MCPS Educational Foundation. We are privileged to hear from Eden Solomon, an MCPS-EF Caesar Pie Cyber Defender Scholar. Eden is in the Academy of Information Technology and Global Studies program at Wheaton High School. Eden plans to major in computer science with a focus on cybersecurity and/or data science.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Eden Solomon, and I'm a senior at Wheaton High School, and I'm honored to be a recipient of the Caesar Pie Cyber Defender Scholarship. I'm also one of your student speakers in today's ceremony. Now, before I begin, can we please give a round of applause to all the hardworking students in front of me? Your dedication throughout high school has paid off, and I'm so proud to stand in front of you tonight. I also ask you give one more round of applause to our donors. You're the reason opportunities like this are possible, and without you, many of us wouldn't have been able to overcome the financial barriers at the start of our college and career journeys. Finally, I want to give a huge shout out to the families, teachers, staff, mentors, and friends in the audience. Your support through the chaos and stress of senior year has carried us more than you know. Now to begin. If I'm being honest, I didn't know where to start or what impression I wanted to leave in writing this speech. But after some deep philosophical conversations with myself in my bathroom mirror, as one does, one thought kept running. Our identity is layered, and we don't realize it. We move through routines, expectations, and labels without questioning them until something or someone challenges the versions of ourselves we thought was real. Now, you might be thinking, what is this girl even saying? But bear with me here. There's this Japanese saying about the 3 faces. The first face is the one you show to the world. The second face is the one you show to your close friends and family. And the third face, the truest form of who you are, is the one you never show to anyone, sometimes not even to yourself. My first face, the one everyone sees, the scholarship recipient, the student leader, the one who smiles in big pictures and takes challenging classes. My second face, that's the version a few people know, the close friends who see me overthink every decision I make and hear me vent when pressure gets too high. She's still driven and independent, but also unsure, vulnerable, and if I'm being honest, kind of emotionally intense. And then there's the third face, the one I've struggled to understand. When I was 3 years old, I lost my brother from a house collapse in Ethiopia. As tragic as it was, I didn't fully grasp the loss at the time. But as I got older, I began to feel the weight of it in ways I couldn't explain. Every milestone, from entering high school to applying to college, has felt like a step I was taking in his place. If he had lived, he would have done it all before me. I would have had someone to follow, someone to look up to. Instead, I've had to figure out who I am without me. Not just Eden from Silver Spring, Maryland, but Eden who carries both the role of the eldest and the longing of a middle sibling. It's like I've been chasing a version of myself that didn't exist yet, trying to make sense of what it means to lead when the one meant to follow is gone. But over time, I've realized something. That third face, the one I kept tucked away, wasn't a weakness or something to hide. It was part of me that held grief and guilt, yes, but it also held my strength. It's where my resilience grew. I started using my voice literally and figuratively, recording voice memos when I couldn't write, speaking up in class when my voice shook, speaking on stage, as of right now, landing an internship, and pushing myself to lead. Not because I always felt brave, but I knew someone had to be the first in my family to try, even if that first was meant to be a second. And I think that's true for a lot of us up here. Whether it was learning to navigate our college applications, or juggling between jobs and school, translating for our parents, or simply showing up every day when life felt overwhelming. We did that. We made it here. We carry our own layered stories, ones of loss, hope, identity, and growth. And while our third face may never be fully seen, they are the reason we've come this far. So tonight, I challenge each and every one of you, my fellow seniors, to embrace every part of who you are, not just the polished resumes or the smiling senior portraits, but the quiet struggles, the late-night doubts, the unspoken dreams. Because it's not about who you present to the world, but it's about who you choose to become when no one's watching. And to our families, donors, and supporters, thank you for believing in all of our faces, even the ones we're still trying to figure out. Congratulations to the class of 2025. We did it, and we're just getting started.
As a nonprofit, the MCPS Educational Foundation relies on the support of donors to implement important programs that support MCPS students. A generous gift from the Norman and Ruth Rails Foundation will underwrite up to 1,000 scholarships between 2023 and 2028. Tonight, 171 MCPS seniors have received the Ruth and Norman Rales Patricia Bayer O'Neill Scholarship recognizing academic excellence. Please welcome to the stage Joshua. Yeah, we can clap for that. And keep clapping as we welcome to the stage Joshua Rales, President and Trustee of the Rales Foundation, and Rick O'Neill, Pat Mayor O'Neill's husband.
Wow. This is also humbling to be with all of you this evening. The madrigals were incredible. Give them a second round of applause. Amazing. As they said, this is the moment. Like the ones that spoke before me, I just want to congratulate each and every one of you on this achievement. Looking out at all of you and your families, it's a beautiful mosaic and a tribute to this county and its school system, that they were able to produce people of your depth, your character, your willingness to sacrifice, and work hard to get to where you are today. I want to also thank the Montgomery County Education Foundation, Matt Swibel, the chair, Kristen Callisto, and her staff for all the hard work to make this evening possible. Deborah Monk, who's behind the scenes helping with this evening of excellence. All of you are terrific. And Dr. Thomas Taylor, who is new to this jurisdiction but not new to this business. He is sensational. I've spent time with him. He's going to be a great leader here. He already is a great leader, and he's going to do wonderful things. And thank you for being here tonight. And I want to also thank Rick O'Neill, who I've had the great privilege to get to know, and his family, for giving the Rales Foundation the privilege to honor his magnificent wife, Pat O'Neill, along with my parents in naming this program. Pat, when she was involved in education here in Montgomery County on the school board, was a great champion of children, and she was an amazing advocate for creating opportunity for all to receive an excellent education. She understood better than anyone that knowledge is power and that it's a ticket to a better life. And I would like to just for a moment share the story of my parents, who really were the inspiration for this scholarship program. Their story is amazing. It's beautiful. But what's incredible about it is it's not uncommon in America, because America is an amazing place. It has a lot of faults. We're going to make it better. But they were able to thrive because of the opportunities that were created here. And it all started when their parents came over at the turn of the 20th century, fleeing persecution in Europe, hoping for a better life, hoping for more opportunity, and probably foremost in their mind at the time, just wanting to be safe, where they could live their life without being persecuted. Many people that came along with them said the streets are paved with gold. They got here, they weren't exactly paved with gold. They meant opportunity, but if you worked hard and you put your head down and you made the sacrifices like each and every one of you had to do to get here, you could be successful. But they had setbacks. On my dad's side of the family, his mother died when he was only 7 years old in childbirth with his younger sister. It was the eve of the Great Depression in 1930. Penicillin wasn't invented yet, and his mother died of an infection. And because his father couldn't get stable work, he was put into an orphanage where he spent the next 10 years of his life in Harlem in New York City. My mother grew up in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That seems to be a trend tonight. Her father immigrated from Europe as well with his wife, my grandmother, and he had a small business, and that business had its ups and downs. And there were days and weeks where they weren't sure they could put food on the table. But somehow they managed to get through it while my parents couldn't go to college because their parents couldn't afford it. They succeeded through the hard work and determination and grit that you hear about all the time that people ask you to have. And you're repeating the same virtuous cycle. But the important takeaway from all this, and telling you a little bit about them, is that when they passed away, my brothers, Steve and Mitchell, and I took over their foundation, and we wanted to build a legacy in their memory. And what did they care most about? Young people and education. They believed all of you are the future, and they wanted to see us invest in people like you and in education because they knew how important it was. And they also wanted to be sure that their success was paid forward and that they could do things that would matter, that would make a difference. And they wanted us to invest in scholarships like this to create leaders that would be the type of people that they would be proud of and that, you know, their values could live on through, okay? And so let me just share with you for a minute, you know, what some of the qualities they saw and what my brothers and I and everybody at the Rails Foundation sees as the qualities of a great leader. They bring together people, they're unifiers, they're not dividers. They don't get caught up in the trends of the moment, but are critical thinkers who look for the truth and strive to do what's right. They set a good example. And in the world we live in today, that's a hard thing to do. You're going to be going to college, and you're going to want to fit in, and you're going to want to be part of that whole social structure and feel good and be accepted. But what great leaders do is they stand up for what's right. Sometimes they go against the trend, they go against where people are talking, and they look for the facts. And we're hoping you're going to be critical thinkers. They embrace people of all backgrounds and seek to understand diverse perspectives rather than siloing themselves with only people like them. The one thing I noticed when my kids went to college was that there was a diversity of background at their universities. But what I saw was that, you know, the Asians were among the Asians, the African Americans were among the African Americans, the whites were with the whites, the Hispanics were with the Hispanics. And what I'm challenging all of you to do as great leaders is get to know people from different backgrounds. Ask them how they're doing, what got them here. Try to get inside their skin and get to know them. That's what great leaders do. That's how great leaders have empathy and have understanding. And that's a reason why we gave you the book, you know, for the Rails O'Neill Scholars, Sharon McMahon's book, The Small and the Mighty. You know, we live in a society today where celebrity is really prized and embraced. But what The Small and the Mighty is about is that it's what happens at the grassroots. It's what happens from the ground up that makes a big difference, not from the top down. It's all of you with your individual acts day in, day out, doing the right thing, making good moral choices. You can change history. And that's why we gave you that book as a gift. It's very well written, it's inspiring, and I hope you'll feel as inspired as we did at the Rails Foundation. Now, some of you may have noticed, you see the blue square I'm wearing, and you see the blue square that Mr. O'Neill's wearing. Dr. Taylor has it on. Council President Yang has it on. Matt Swibel has it on. You know, a lot of people were wearing it, and in case you were wondering what the blue square is, the blue square is a universal symbol against hate. It was created by, if you're a football fan, Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. And what it represents, and the reason I'm sharing this with you, so important to the message tonight, is it represents a commitment to our shared humanity. We believe every human being is precious and deserves to be respected and treated with kindness, regardless of their faith, race, sexual orientation, or nationality. Great leaders are committed to these values. As all of you know, we live in a divisive time, and there are many of you, no doubt, who do not feel at the present time that our country and our leaders have lived up to your expectations. I have a challenge for you. Step up and help make things better. As all of you know, the United States Constitution starts out with the words, "We the people," in order to form a more perfect union. Our founders recognized that the union that was being created at that time was not perfect. Perfection was the aspiration, but they knew it was a living document. They were counting on future generations like you to help us to get closer and closer to this aspiration. So I'm asking you tonight, as you enter your next chapter, make our nation more perfect. We're counting on you. So on behalf of my fellow trustees, Stephen and Mitchell Rales, and the incredible staff at the Rales Foundation, I want to wish all of you, all the scholars here, Rales O'Neill and all the others tonight, great success and the very best in your next chapter. Thank you.
That's tough for me to follow, Josh. Very nice, very nice.
You're the best. Go ahead.
Want to thank Josh, the Rails Foundation, the MCPS Educational Foundation. Oh, Pat would be just thrilled here. I'll tell you a little bit about her. She would be thrilled and would be so thrilled with all of you students. She was all about public service and education of children. She served 6 terms on the Board of Education, 23 years. She was approached a number of times about running for higher office, but she just constantly stuck with her love, which was education and children. We put 2 through MCPS. In fact, offered occasionally that they could go to private school if they wanted. Not that we could afford, not that anybody can afford it, but they said, why would we leave our friends? We're excelling. And when I went to back to school nights, I realized I would flunk out of MCPS at this point. Pat,
That's not true.
I think it is true. Pat and I both went to Walter Johnson, graduated in, of all years, 1968. So when you think about tough times now, 1968 was not the easiest of times itself. Assassinations, riots, etc. But we've all made it through, and we'll make it through all of this. Pat was just the epitome of public service. In fact, unfortunately, Pat passed away 1971. Excuse me, let me get that straight now. In 2021, correct. Let's not go too far back. No, we had great years together. We were together 54 years. Because Walter Johnson, Pat's service, really, her public service started at Walter Johnson. She served on every committee known to man, including one that said, we are too crowded at Walter Johnson. Our graduating class was nearly 800 students, and a new school was needed nearby, which is when the Woodward School opened. Other situations like that, she was always a leader in that regard. Public service was recognized incredibly by an editorial in the Washington Post 2 days after she passed, with an editorial and her photo in the Washington Post, which explained that she was the epitome of public service, had spent 23 years on the school board dealing with all of the difficult issues. Her colleagues respected her, and I think at that time we decided they knew what we knew, which was her first love was children and education, which she excelled at. A bit more about her. When we were in high school, as I said, many committees throughout. But my favorite story about Pat, we went to the same college, which is, we graduated. I actually knew more about Pat after graduation than before. We went to the same college in Dallas, SMU. Her freshman year, she undertook a task which no one else would volunteer for. She went to East Dallas to assist in bringing a new television program to the children of Dallas, which I thought was weird. I saw some videos of it and thought, well, it's a little weird show, but okay. And it was 1969, the first year of Sesame Street. Many of you probably watched Sesame Street. It was absolutely incredible. She just loved it, said, this is going to be fantastic. She was just throughout life, and indeed now our two young grandchildren who are in London watch Sesame Street. They love it. That was Pat, though. She was always a leader and always out front in some kind of little undertaking like that that turned out to be a big deal. And in fact, on the way here this evening, I heard that Sesame Street now has become big time. It will be streamed on Netflix. 56 years of Sesame Street. It's incredible. But again, children is what it was all about with her. So I want to say the other thing. I do want to say thanks to all of our MCPS educational folks, our superintendent, Dr. Taylor, our Rails Foundation, which has been so supportive, and Pat just would do anything for the Rails Foundation because they were so interested in education. And, of course, our members of our Board of Education and our County Council. They are the epitome of public service, truly. You got a complaint, you go to them. You know, sometimes we ought to just say, thanks very much. They do so many good things for our community. I think you all and they deserve a real round of applause. And one final round of applause for the parents and guardians, the caregivers. You all are. We know what that's like, right, Josh? Thank you all very much. It's been just a terrific evening.
MCPS Educational Foundation scholars are headed off to a bright future. They plan to work in fields like cybersecurity, education, engineering, foreign service, and more. And I'm hoping one of you wants to become a meteorologist. If you do, holler at me. I think that we could have our next climate scientist that could really help us understand our changing climate, or someone to make a forecast model where we could really determine the forecast to the second. I believe that they could be one of these students right here. Whatever you want to do, I know, again, you have a bright future, and we continue to recognize the importance that college and even graduate school is to their career pathways. Now, as the price continues to rise dramatically over the past 2 decades, receiving a scholarship has grown even more important to many students by making higher education more accessible to those who might not be able to afford it. Now, let's hear a sampling of students reflecting in their own words how a scholarship will enhance their academic journey and futures. So let's watch that video.
When I found out I got the scholarship, I was excited, I was thrilled.
This scholarship is really important because it helps alleviate that financial burden.
This scholarship enables me to be able to pursue my career.
My parents never went to college for reasons that were outside of their control. They've struggled with poverty and living through war because both of my parents are immigrants. I'm going to attend the University of Maryland College Park.
George Washington University.
University of Maryland.
Vassar College.
For my future, I plan to major in philosophy so I can knock out the LSAT and get into the best law school that I could so I could become a criminal or immigration lawyer.
I'm planning to major in computer science.
Finance.
History. I love history. At its core, history is about empathy. It's about connecting with people who lived in different times and circumstances and understanding why they did what they did and what the world was like for them. History is not doomed to repeat, but it can often rhyme.
I get my ambition from my family. So as the oldest, I always feel like I need to take responsibility for everything, and it just motivates me to keep on going.
So did you put the sketch on that sketch?
Yes.
Okay. So I've been doing robotics for 2 years, and I really want to get onto the mechanical and electrical side of engineering. I also am a robotics mentor. I mentor junior robotics teams.
Well, it's great that you're doing it so many subjects.
I think exploring multiple subjects allows me to become more well-rounded, and I can use different skills that I learned from different subjects in my career. I really enjoyed government, so choosing Missy Reese, who was my sophomore year government teacher, as my internship teacher is really fun to be able to help students out with government, helping them understand concepts. And so they say, like, judicial review is what gives the courts powers to strike down laws that are unconstitutional.
As one of the things I do in the school is I have an internship where I work with sophomore students in U.S. history, AP U.S. history.
For 10 points, name these 2 countries in the Western Hemisphere who plan border wall has been a source of controversy since the 90s.
United States and Mexico.
That is correct.
One of the things that I have been involved with is our History Bowl Club. California.
That is correct.
Our History Bowl team went to the History Bowl Nationals, and we got 8th in the country out of 250 teams.
Roosevelt! How are you feeling about senior decision day today?
I actually feel really, really good about it. The teachers here at Postville have been extraordinary, especially my History Bowl sponsor and U.S. history teacher, Mr. Turner. I don't think anyone has believed in me, pushed me more, and been a friendly face here more than him. He is an extraordinary teacher, and I hope that I can be a teacher like him. These scholarships are so important because they help diverse students all across Montgomery County make real differences and impact in the world.
When I become a lawyer, I hope to focus more on helping my community since I've seen the side of what they've gone through and the struggles.
Like, I love being able to empower students to want to explore their passions and hopefully get a college degree of their own one day.
I've really enjoyed learning about STEM and programming for so many years of my life, and I really want to share that experience with other students across the world.
And I want to be an historian and a teacher. As a teacher, I want to get people to fall in love with history the way that I have.
I want to thank my teachers.
My teachers.
My teachers who constantly push me to study new things.
My family.
My parents
who were always there to support me whenever I felt stressed.
I would also really like to thank the MCPS Educational Foundation for this amazing scholarship.
You really are helping me to alleviate a huge financial burden and allow me to focus on my school.
It gives me that freedom to pursue other interests. It really empowers me as a woman in STEM.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we complete our program and close out the 2025 Evening of Excellence, I would like to recognize everyone who has joined us today, from our student performers, our student speakers, our adult speakers, and Jessica Faith, our wonderful MC. Yeah. I'm also very grateful to the Foundation's small but mighty team of staff who produced tonight's event, which celebrated 200 of you. And also, finally, as a former educator, I would love to thank one final time our high school administrators and educators who partnered with the MCPS Educational Foundation in the process of offering these scholarships to our students.
And to our scholars, we call tonight the Evening of Excellence, but we're not simply celebrating your excellence. We're celebrating your pursuit of excellence. The pursuit of excellence, it's the ongoing quest for self-improvement, mastery, and fulfillment in every area of life. It entails developing a growth mindset in the face of setbacks, setting ambitious goals, and sharpening skills and competencies to achieve your fullest potential. If you, anyone in the room, would like to support the work of the MCPS Educational Foundation, you can make a one-time or recurring donation at mcpsfoundation.org or speak to an MCPS staff member or myself after the program. Now, we ask everyone to remain in place until after all the scholars come up to the stage. This is a little pivot from your rehearsal. We're gonna take one final picture. So scholars, please rise and approach the stage just as we did before. We're going to invite Thomas and Josh to join us as well.